Welcome to another episode of The Adventures of Danny and Mike, wherein the fellas discuss tire chains, pub quizzes, and being fame adjacent, with special guest Lori Beth Denberg. Now play the music, Churchy. Was nude today when I drove by on my way here. The guy who routinely sleeps on my sidewalks around the corner in Greenpoint was butt-ass naked, wagging it to the world.
What?
As I went to make a left, and I can't believe this.
Was he looking at traffic like wagging, or was he just walking around?
Yeah, and this was not a slow intersection either. This was a corner of Nassau and McGinnis. Luckily, he was a little bit in from McGinnis. Otherwise, there would have already
You could have gotten clipped easy.
Yeah. Oh, well, sure, I would have taken an eyeful, but... Yeah, there could have been bad crashes had he been leaving it out for all to see on McGinnis as opposed to Nassau.
So Mike was 25 minutes late for work because he just walked.
He just kept circling the block.
Just wanted to drink it in. You know how long it takes for a UPS to make a left?
Yeah.
I can't believe that I did this, and I'm going to lose a lot of listeners here.
Whatever it is, we can believe that you did it.
The cop, there was like a cop waiting to make a left or something, and I was just like, "Hey, check out Reach." I looked back as I make a left, and the lights go on, and I didn't see a spotlight.
Wait, so you tattled on him?
Wow, you narked.
You narked him out?
I narked on Rishu.
You've been talking about these guys for like 6 years.
I can't believe you narked him out.
Oh, I mean, like,
Can't believe
they
that.
routinely drain public resources by needing EMS and stuff like this.
I'm not
I was
denying
worried.
that.
Just on Tuesday with my mom, we had to like step around him because he was stretched out full length across the sidewalk. Not even nice enough to put his head like up on a doorstep or something like that.
I like that you said the nickname that you personally have for this guy, and you said that to the cop. Hey, check back there for Rishu. I thought he would have thrown the lights on for you to be like, what are you, drunk, sir? The hell is this Rishu crap? Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I used to call him Popeye for a long time before I found out his name. I used to have...
And Rishu comes from what?
He's Polish. It's like a affectionate diminutive contraction of some kind.
Aww.
Like maybe
is that what his dick looked like?
Yeah, at that point it was
affectionate diminutive contraction.
I mean, it had clearly been tanned along with the rest of them. That was what was interesting.
That means that he's done it more than once.
Yeah, exactly.
If his whole ding think I narked so quickly
and they hit the lights so quick? It was reflex.
Before we get into too much more of hobo penises, let's start the show. Welcome to the Adventures of Danny and Mike. To my right, Mr. Danny Tamborelli.
Hi there.
And to his right, Mr. Michael C. Morona.
Thank you.
And our guest, once again for the entire hour, Miss Lori Beth Denberg.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, LB. Welcome back, LB.
And I'm Jeremy. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for tuning in very much. I hate to interrupt your hobo dick story there, but no.
It wasn't
all done?
It wasn't
was
going anywhere. It was just kind of drooping from there.
All right.
Jeez.
Oh, my.
Get out.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
Okay. Well, this has nothing to do with our guest. This has nothing to do with hobo penis. This has the only
everything to do with Seltzer King Studio.
Quite kind of, because I scraped my knee. We talked about this on the last podcast. I fell down. It was raining. The curb has like a metal front, and when it's raining, I stepped on it and hit my knee. Danny laughed instantly.
I did laugh. I wasn't there, but he told me what happened, and I laughed, and I was like, "That's embarrassing."
Very. Well, I didn't care, but
embarrassing that your good friend laughs at your misfortune.
That is. I also took it that way.
But I let it go. I put some stuff on it. Like I cleaned it up. Thought it was fine.
Now you've got
week later,
gangrene?
it doubled in size.
Let me see. Let me see, Hobbles.
And
oh my God, I was here yesterday.
Oh my God.
I was here yesterday,
I'm talking
and his
about
knee
the knee.
His knee was his left knee and his right knee were disproportionate in size.
They still are. I mean,
so
it's
there's
still,
swelling?
Yeah, so there's
Just the
swelling.
one. I think just the one.
I think what happened
I'm
is
talking about Rishu's dick.
very little.
I'm talking about Reach's dick. Then we can dig it.
Anyway, I got tetanus shot. I got
tetanus shot from the curb cladding.
I got tetanus shot, 2 different kinds of antibiotics, and antibiotic cream.
Good.
Were they
good.
like, what the hell happened to your knee?
No.
Or they were like, did you not put enough stuff on it? You said I did it?
Yeah.
Did you
It's like my
walk?
dick friend did it.
Did you walk into?
And they said, why were you on your knees with Danny?
All I said to him was, the day that I laughed at him, I said, just make sure you keep it clean. That's disgusting that it was on that fucking sidewalk on the curb.
And then
I would clean it, I guess.
No.
we should record a lot
did.
of episodes
It
in
doesn't
case
seem like
Jeremy
you
gets a staph infection.
Yeah.
We should really record a lot of
And
episodes.
cut together the memoriam reel just real quick in case.
We're kind of pre-selecting the hits right now. Jeremy, did you
What's
go
your
to-
favorite memory of Jeremy, Lori Beth?
My favorite memory of Jeremy is
Puking in the ocean,
other
probably.
time. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Huge.
Was being there as the only supportive member
Yes.
in his life.
Thank you.
To hear about the puking in the ocean.
Everybody else had a problem with that.
Yeah.
You can go back to the last episode with Lori Beth. You could hear all about me puking in the ocean with the current.
I was
Very
going to say
important.
you were right on the border between Venice and Santa Monica, so we couldn't figure out whose responsibility it was.
Right. Do you call the city of Los Angeles or Santa Monica?
Well, it was open waters. You can puke anywhere. It's not illegal.
Where the 210, and the 57 meet.
Yeah.
It's where you
Raging
see
waters.
all the 10 to 12-year-old kids drinking in the ocean because they're allowed to.
Wow.
Because you just can.
Really? Oh, I guess it's Yahtzee, right? International waters.
Yahtzee.
Roadie.
Oh, international. Well, I said open waters.
But you got to get how many miles out, you think, to gamble? and
I always
drink?
think it's like 0.5 before I start just
gambling,
murdering.
monkey knife fight.
yeah.
I'm a half mile off. I can do whatever the fuck I want now.
Okay. I heard that down in Sheepshead. I heard down in Sheepshead Bay that party boats get like a little intense after people land. Like you get on the marina and you go on this boat, and just like people getting back from the party boats at ass o'clock in the morning were a bit rowdy.
Oh, I'm nostalgic for those days.
No, I'm not. I don't think I've ever gone on a party boat. I don't think I've ever gone on a cruise.
I've never been on a cruise.
Cruise, LB?
I've never been on a cruise. I was just talking about how I might like to go.
Okay. So we won't.
Perhaps if we get a sponsorship,
Can we get one,
can
a
do one.
Scientology one that has measles, perhaps?
That's
my favorite memory of Jeremy is when he fell off the cruise boat and we had to turn around and get him.
That's not true.
Oh.
That's not. I would have a little dinghy. I would have a dinghy in
you
the
do.
back.
Ask Rishu.
Ooh, we're back to Diggs. Dig hour on the Danny and Mike show with Lori Beth. Dig.
About 5 bullets make contact in all 5 seasons of the A-Team. Only 5 bullets actually hit flesh,
okay.
and one of them is Murdoch.
Oh.
And they have a whole show just thinking about Murdoch and all the crazy stuff.
Oh,
he
that's
did.
the
That's their
flashback
clip-
show?
That's their clip show.
That's the
yeah.
clip show.
Oh gosh, he's shot right now. Remember all that funny stuff he did?
Glad you-
Never like in the middle of the stomach, always on the side.
Oh
where
yeah, it
it's
can't
like,
be vital.
It couldn't
Yeah.
be.
And are they in the hospital waiting room as all of this is going down?
No, that'd be great.
Sitcom style?
Yeah, that'd be great if they're like the janitor's like, come on, lady, you gotta move.
There's always a good bit with the instant coffee machine.
Yeah, exactly.
I took my quarter.
I pity the coffee machine that don't give me my espresso.
Now, Mr. T.
Mr. T would say espresso.
I love you're like a Brooklyn guy. I love the relationship between Mr. T and Murdoch, but it's so
Homoerotic?
at the same time. It's like it's caring, but they didn't realize
Were you
how
big on
much
the
they
A-Team?
cared.
I was cognizant enough of the A-Team to dig it. I think I don't know how old I was. When was it? When was the run?
I think it was like 82 to 86 or something like that.
Yeah,
81
so
to
I
86.
might have seen some reruns growing up.
Same here.
I know I always thought I kind of had a little crush on Murdoch.
See? He's the crazy one.
He's the crazy one.
Unpredictable.
Yeah.
Just a little Murdoch.
I think I didn't necessarily understand that it was. I was like, but aren't they bad guys?
Right.
But they're not.
They're on the run.
They're on the run.
So they got to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I look back and I see the entire, social implications and the metaphor that the show was trying to make, and the subtext and the context of what it was.
I can appreciate this.
Or that it was
Reminds
just
me of the Bundy Ranch in Oregon or whatever. It's just taking over, just on the run, taking shit over.
The Bunny Ranch in Nevada.
The Bunny Ranch, yeah.
Mm.
I'm not. No.
Where they have Michael's picture up. It says, do not take checks.
Bad, past bad. Yeah. Three forms of ID needed.
Checks are almost irrelevant at this point.
Absolutely.
It's getting to the point where nobody needs them.
Well, you need.
My landlord still needs them, ironically enough.
And my dad doesn't do anything without them.
I was going to say, when's the last time you paid for a rub and tug without a check? Is my question.
Well, I have never. Thanks, Mike, for bringing that up.
I've never sent a dick pic. Let's get some.
I haven't either.
Let's get some
drink.
Yeah. Let's get some. What do you call it? Out of the way.
Yeah.
Some confessions. Oh, Danny's not drinking.
That's because I sent dick pics.
Oh God.
Oh, wait. Do you have to drink if you have done the
Yeah,
thing?
I forget. Yeah, I forget how this game
I don't know.
goes.
I don't play drinking games. I just, if I'm going to drink, I'm going to drink.
Yeah.
It's not a game.
I don't care.
The
about
conversation just slows it down. it makes your
I'm not drinking fast enough because I'm trying to answer these goddamn questions.
You're just like, I can still remember. I'm not drinking fast enough.
Yeah,
I
all
can
these.
still remember.
Why can I answer all these trivia questions if I'm drinking?
Exactly.
Oh,
Pub quiz, kind of a weird thing. Mm-hmm. Did we import it from elsewhere, or did we make it up here? Trivia night. Did it like?
That's interesting.
Did it emerge from people's heads simultaneously all around the world?
Is that a fact check?
Schminster, I guess it is.
You can fact check if you
Typically,
like.
I get 3 fact checks. It's like spins on Press Your Luck.
Okay.
And
So you get them too.
I can pass.
I recently watched the Press Your Luck on YouTube with that guy who cheated but didn't cheat.
System? Yeah.
And it went to 2 episodes. It was fairly thrilling.
Weren't you feeling it?
I was feeling it.
That is awesome.
And I heard the
Is
story.
it cheating if you figured out what the...
No. They
Lori Beth and Danny are here, and you said figure it out. Drink.
Damn it.
All of you.
No, the slime. He was ruled. He got his money. He didn't cheat.
He got his money.
Yeah, he didn't cheat. They were like, he didn't cheat. We can't see how.
He's just extremely good.
Yeah.
He just figured out the rhythm and the repetition.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
It's pretty crazy when you watch it. You see the other 2
Probably
contestants.
should get twice the money for it.
Getting really pissed.
Well, no, at some point they're just, at first they're like, whoa, and then they're like, huh, and then they just kind of sit there.
They recede into their seats like, oh, I'm not going to be playing
And
this
the lady's
one.
like, buffing her nails or something, and the guy is just working on his taxes.
I see like a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out type training montage where the guy is like working 2 remotes of VCRs. But at that point, VCRs had wired remotes. You know what I mean? They were attached to the thing. So he's just like, bing, 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 and he's got a headband on. For the listener.
Wired remotes on VCRs? I didn't remember that.
Whoa.
They were wired
that true?
remotes on VCR.
Well, you probably grew up with kitchen disposal too, didn't you? No?
No. We
Okay.
barely had a kitchen.
Oh, that's
Wow.
true. Yeah, we cooked in the yard.
In where? Iowa? Ohio?
Ohio. Very good memory.
One of those other 4-letter
He had
words.
to take VCRs out and unspin them and put them into a reel-to-reel.
Yeah, exactly.
Unspool stuff.
Yeah, it's direct format. It just works both ways.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
The pub quiz was established in the UK in the 1970s, mainly by a company called Burns and Porter, to get people into pubs on quieter nights, which is exactly what they still do to this day.
Yeah.
To get them into
It's not
pubs.
Matt. You're a Simpsons trivia.
You rule the school.
I do rule the school. We've had some hiccups this year. We were first January and February. This is me and my teammate / boyfriend Tyler. And then the rest of the month so far, we've gotten second or third.
I watched you guys for like 2 hours in February when I was at your place.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
they were
this is
going
just-
over.
this
They
is
were
just
going
practice,
over.
right?
They were going over Simpsons trivia questions,
Go
and
ahead.
it was out of control.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. Like
I'd
was
found all
crazy.
these like Simpsons trivia cards that I'd gotten. I mean, probably in the 90s.
Ages ago.
And I was like, oh, neat. And so I'd found them all in my
Let's make something.
home. And I was like, Tyler, we got to go through these. And we were doing them in the car on the way to Tahoe when we hit a snowbank.
Oh,
What do you call it? I'm trying to think of the one where Ned and Homer are trapped and they're frozen and they start hallucinating because they're in the car and he hits
yes.
a hydrant.
That one's
The
called
snow.
Skinner's Sense of Snow.
Skinner's Sense of Snow. See?
wow, crazy.
Steel trap minds.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about your accident?
Oh, I'm happy to. The couch is a little wet right now, but I mean, I feel like I'm with friends. He had planned a trip to Lake Tahoe for my birthday.
Nice.
Which was in early February. This was President's Day weekend. And it was during that ridiculously bad, worst snow of the universe debacle. But
we're talking full on snow in the Angelinos Mountains. Like you fly into LAX and you see snow-capped mountains all around you.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
And then we were going, I mean, it was literally the worst idea, to go. But our hotel was non-refundable.
As they sometimes are.
Yeah. So we decided to go. And it's like, well, if we can't get there, we'll turn around. We stopped where people were stopping to put on chains. We'd gotten chains.
The Donner Pass.
And these guys helped us put on the chains, and we were like, oh, thanks, can we pay? And it turned out they were really sweet, but it was the first time they'd ever put on chains. And they didn't look right. And so we continued down the road a little bit to an official, like the guys you pay to put on the chains. And we're like, let's check in with them. And the guy was really cool. He's like, yeah, these are on backwards. And so he hooked us up.
It would have added snow to your tire.
You would have punctured your tires had you gotten any farther.
So he hooked us up, and we felt a little cocky. And then
here, take some Simpsons trivia cards, sir.
Sir. And then he said, thank you, milady. But then we slipped on some black ice, slid, and just plowed into a snowbank in the middle of nowhere in Lee Vining, California. Yeah. I think it was California, not Nevada.
This is right on the Nevada border.
Yeah.
This is after you put the tire chains or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Second time.
Wow.
So after the chains were on,
it's
normally.
very good that you didn't break down in Lee Scratch Perry, California.
Yeah,
because you just hear chickens and roosters and reggae all the time.
It was literally nowhere. It was the entire weekend. It would be. I mean, we could do a series of podcasts on it. Every step of the way was just a huge challenge. It was an adventure. I need to write it out, and the point of me writing it out is.
So you can come on podcasts and recant it?
I would assign blame.
My end game is how much we would have lost on the hotel versus how much it cost us after extra hotel rooms and staying there too late and the deductible on the car.
Wasn't there like a car share issue?
You took a cartouche there?
No, you know what?
Not a share, like an Uber or a Lyft or something.
The night after we crashed, we ended up hanging out in Lee Vining and getting a hotel room. But then his insurance called and said, we can get you a tow tonight to Carson City, Nevada.
I was waiting for you to say Carson, California. I was like, are we going to hang out?
No, Carson, Nevada, which got us closer to, then that's more of a place we can decide what we're going to do from there. So that was over a 2-hour ride.
Isn't that the capital?
Tow truck. I don't know.
Come on.
I didn't go to school.
Go ahead.
And so we have this random ride till 2 a.m. And then we're finally in Carson. He drops us off in the city, and then he's going to take the tow truck guy the car. So we call an Uber from where we are to take us up to Lake Tahoe. And this guy picks us up, and he was just immediately really confrontational in a weird way. We get in the car. Granted, it's 2:00.
Where's your tires?
Carson, Nevada.
Where's your chain?
Nevada or Nevada?
Nevada.
It's Nevada.
It's Nevada, right? We got in trouble.
And we get in the car, and the first thing he says is, I hope you're prepared to spend some money.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, what? Yeah. And he was like, because I didn't know this, and I can't make any money coming back. And this whole thing that was really bordering on threatening.
Yeah, that's not your problem.
It was really fucking un-Uber-like.
When you get the captive audience. Sometimes.
Yeah. And so, and then I'm like, And then he's just kind of arrogant, the whole way up. He's like, yeah, well, my car, and some people can't. And I'm like, you're arrogant for an Uber driver at 2 a.m. in Carson, Nevada.
Carson City.
I've been waiting on this moment my whole life.
Oh, to
Suckers.
I
What,
know.
to let some frustrations out, or to
It's been 4.5 days since someone plowed into that snow embankment, and I
know.
want some money.
all that?
It was just wrong. Tyler did complain because I was like, I'm going to call them. And then he got his money back. And that guy has to be an Uber driver in Carson. So maybe the best revenge is living a good life.
Carson City.
So when you're
Or it could just be Carson.
I
There's
think
a
it was just
Carson and a
Carson.
Carson City, bro.
What?
I mean,
Get the map.
if you weren't there,
Yeah,
let
Jeremy-
LB just tell the story. And
Jeremy,
we can-
there's a big difference between Carson, California, and Carson City.
It was
yes, I
Nevada,
don't think we have to
baby.
fact check that. Yes, I believe that's correct.
we can just shut it down.
I drove from Salt Lake City.
This interview is over.
Clearly, if you had read my book, you would have known what questions to ask.
Your book On the Road by Jack
Wow,
Harlow.
are you topically quoting Ben Shapiro right now?
Yes.
That's disgusting.
When we all drove from the
Salt Lake City to
Sundance Film Festival to San Fran,
where's that?
it's outside of Salt Lake City. It's 12 hours. The guy I was driving with insisted on driving with the window down the whole time so he didn't fall asleep.
Aw.
A full day of the window down would drive me crazy.
It was in January.
That would drive my nipples crazy.
Whoa. But it's not false. I mean,
But what?
we were chafed by the time we got out of that.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
This was like a taxi taking you 12 hours.
No, just a friend driving with friends.
Oh, we were just making sure.
Former friend, because the
Yeah,
whole
right?
window.
Still talk.
Yeah. Did you have was it your personal car you took, or was it a rental?
No,
rental?
it was my boyfriend's car.
So I always wonder about, because I'm a big. I talk about that I have a doomsday
He's a go bagger.
prepper.
He's
Not a doomsday prepper, but I have like a bag, like a, what are they called? The get out
Oh,
bags.
shit
or-
bag.
Yeah,
Just that
the
I-
bug out bag.
Bug
You would
out
just,
bag. There
you
you
would just
go.
have to pray if you were a doomsday prepper. You wouldn't have to do anything.
No, I'd have to have like an underground tunnel system with
Were you a
food in
fan of
barrel.
Blast from the Past? Was that Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
No. Oh, was it?
Was it Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
That was Encino Man.
Don't wheeze the juice.
Mhm. Anyway, my question was if you had prepared it all, because I'm big at like preparing to make sure, if I'm going somewhere snowy, I'm going to have a blanket in there, maybe if I think of it, blanket in there, maybe some socks, extra socks.
Yeah. Well, we were packed for the
Going for
weekend.
vacation.
Right.
Yeah, we were packed for the weekend, so we had that kind of stuff. The one thing we happened to have, which didn't come into play, was this really sweet axe
Oh, man.
that I'd gotten him for Christmas. This whole thing, and it had gloves in the case. I'm so proud of it.
It's like a Walking
I'll
Dead
show you a
thing?
picture.
Walking
I'll
Dead
show you a
axe.
picture. No, it's about 14 inches long. But
Hey.
it has a maul, and so it has some.
What are we
it's
talking
got
about?
some
Rishu's
weight.
dick again?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was thick on one end and then tapered to a sharp point.
That sounds like the axe.
Yeah.
And constantly surrounded by cop lights.
Exactly. So we had that going on, which just would have been awesome if we needed to use it for something, but it didn't come into play. It just happened to be in his trunk, next to the
You
dead
could have
girl's
killed.
body.
You could have killed the. I was gonna say you could have killed the Uber driver.
Yeah, you could have killed the driver.
No, by that time his car. Oh, the other funny part of this story, though, that would be the cutaway recurring joke in a movie, is that we had in Lee Vining, we went to the restaurant.
In town.
Yeah, it was literally a strip. It was it was called Nicely's, and we had it was just lovely, and it's one of those memories. But I wasn't hungry because I'd fallen down on the snow. I'd slipped on the way into the restaurant and hurt myself, and I was all and I wasn't that hungry, but I'm like, I better get something because who knows what's going to happen. So I got like a chicken dinner that had all these trimmings and fixins, and it was in the car. And then they towed the car away. And after a while I was like, did you take that chicken out? And he's like, nope. So the whole weekend it was like, well, you better tell them about the chicken. Luckily it was like super cold.
And it kept preserved.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like we got it back at the end 2 weeks later, but it would have been that thing where you kept cutting back to the chicken and it's like, and then it's like frozen and then it's being eaten by a raccoon and then,
The raccoon is being eaten by a bear.
yeah, and then the button after the credits is just like the chicken reanimating because it's,
Oh, that kind of sounds like you broke down in wintertime Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think what do you call it? Idealized that show a little too much.
You do? I've never seen it.
I find it entertaining.
Do you enjoy it more than Life?
No, I like Life better.
Oh, good.
The Cinnamon Life is my favorite.
Because we were going to then say you have to go to, we have to put you away for watching Schitt's Creek too much.
I would have to. What do you
What
call
a
it?
friggin' hack, Mike.
I would have to.
What a friggin'
Oh, man.
What?
Just in case this still makes it in, I had said prior to this podcast, hey, can you edit stuff out? Because if I might need to cough because I've been a little sick. So just now what I did was, as the conversation was coming to a close, I put both of my hands up to these
Which
three
means-
gentlemen,
which means shut up.
Which means stop. And then I turned away from the mic to cough. Meaning that would be edited out and then the conversation could continue.
And I kept talking.
Except for Mike, who sees me turning and I'm already in the middle of coughing and he's like, so anyway.
Audio bloopers.
Read the room, Mike.
Audio bloopers.
LB story of our lives.
I know.
He's like
Jeremy and Danny fully understood me.
Danny's like, you just have to visit with this. I have to live with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Every other Tuesday, at least.
Yeah.
Every other day.
Well,
Every other day of the week
Yeah,
is
I think Jeremy's
fine.
trying to steer the conversation towards something.
I'm going to talk about myself again.
Okay. About the time you diarrhea
you had
in
a
a
lot.
river?
Yeah.
No, puke in the ocean, diarrhea in the river. I did have it recently. Let's not talk about that, though.
Okay.
So on top of this leg thing,
Then why bring it up at all?
that's true. On top of this leg thing,
We got 33 minutes left.
couple minutes,
Top of this leg thing.
a couple episodes ago, I talked
I
about
also
getting
have.
some speeding tickets around the holidays.
Oh, no.
Danny, or no. These are moving violations. Both improper left turns 2 times. Paid the one. The other one, Danny's like, you should pay it. Just pay it right away. Don't try to fight it. Just pay it. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. Didn't do that.
Uh-oh.
They pulled my license.
Are you
I'm
serious?
serious.
They pulled your license?
Yes.
Are you currently licensed?
No, I have it back, but it almost
That costs,
it almost doubled in
Yeah.
price.
Bro, what does it feel
Yeah.
like when they pull your license?
It feels-
Did you get mail or an email or something?
I got the letter out there. I got a very angry letter saying, "You fucked up."
Sorry, you
Gonna have
fucked
to-
up.
gonna have
You
to come down on you.
you gotta take care of it.
Yeah.
I got.
Unless you have a chance to fight it. And if you
Yeah.
do that,
Right.
then it stops it for that moment.
I got a fix-it ticket a couple of years ago.
Headlight
because
or something?
No, my registration was lapsed for months. And I kind of didn't know because I choose not to know things.
I think that's
But,
where I'm at. Yes.
So then the cop, basically this would be a fix-it ticket. And I got the registration right away, but never appeared. I never went to court to clear it up.
Say, by the way, it's registered now.
This was years ago. It's been registered a few times since then. But so I found out from my insurance agency who sent me a letter a long time after saying, we can't insure you anymore because your license is suspended.
That's how you found out.
That's how I found out my license was
The
suspended.
state didn't let you know.
Not that I know
Your
of. I mean,
insurance
it was a surprise.
If you would have gotten the letter I got,
Oh no! You know what? They didn't tell me that. They just said we can't insure you anymore. And then they called and I called them.
Go ask California.
Yeah, talk to California.
So by the time that all happened and I got my shit together to deal with it, the fine was over $800.
oh,
jeez.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
California in
Well, look at that
particular is
knee.
a state that really hands it to you with
But
these sort of things.
I went and had so I went afterwards to not to fight it, but
Right.
what can I do?
Yes,
Mea culpa. And this judge was super cool, and she was fun, but there was a guy who was a dick, and she was really very subtly giving it to him. So I was really impressed with her. But she, I paid. She brought the fine down to 200 something. and then I said, well, can I do community service?
Yes.
And she was like, yeah, you can.
Ultimate LA.
So it ended up being like $50 or something with fees and whatever. And then I worked at a religious thrift store
Ooh.
Oh.
for like however many hours I did.
Did you buy anything from that thrift store?
I did not. I managed to make, but they had cool shit, man. I would take you there.
Imagine Katy Perry was forced to sell her old outfits to support the nuns.
Yeah, that would be good. No, they had a whole rack of like Panda Express shirts, like Dodger Stadium hot dogs, like all this stuff. A lot of scrubs.
Good
And
uniform
they had racks
stuff.
and racks of regular clothes, but this one rack in particular was just like super awesome. Like you could have the best Halloween costume.
That's a good way to think
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
like a sketch comedy.
Yeah,
it's like a
you know
sketch
what?
Comedy factory.
It is honestly
I
when you
love that.
come by.
We need a sketch with 17 pairs of scrubs. We need. All right, we
I
got
think
it.
you go into the store,
yeah.
look at the clothes, and then write the sketch.
But like a Verizon
Definitely.
There you
shirt,
go.
like all kinds
Definitely.
of like, you know, not name brand, but whatever the word is.
Whatever your name is, they had
Embroidered.
Brett's, they had Mike's, they had Joe's,
They had Borts.
Even
Borts.
Bort. Excuse me.
Board
Yes.
shorts?
My son's name is Bort.
My son's name is also Bort.
Is that a Simpsons reference?
What do you think?
Yes.
Oh wait, it might be my son. My son's also named Bort. Yeah,
That's
that's,
how
the
seri-
Simpsons.
that's
She's talking about the
That's how
non-syndicated
serious
version.
LB is.
LB and I used to get down about when they went into syndication, which jokes they cut.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got-
I never
'cause
thought about
It's
that.
from
We were
the
mad
episode
about
Itchy
that.
and Scratchy Land.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
a
we got
good
frustrated.
They really
We
do.
got
They
frustrated.
cut jokes out of. I
Oh
never
yeah,
knew
when
that.
you go to syndication,
It's
they
like
need
28.
to cut
It's like 28 minutes to 26 minutes or something like
yeah,
that.
they have to cut out a couple minutes of stuff from syndication. So
All your favorite jokes are not there.
yeah,
Are not
and
there
it's
anymore.
and it's usually like the non sequitur, craziest, funniest, random things because they try to keep the story intact. But apparently, the creative team behind the show has no say in.
Well, that's what I was
going
going
to
to ask. They don't have any like
According
input.
to the
That's a
DVD
network thing?
commentaries,
According to the commentary, which, as we know, are an unimpeachable version of the truth.
no, they
Right.
say
If
they have
it's
no-
if it's pressed onto DVD, it's got to be true.
Pretty true.
Yeah.
I agree.
At first, I kind of thought it was like a Pete and Pete thing, where the music you couldn't clear, so it's just sitting in a warehouse. Season 3 for
Oh, you recorded
20
the commentary and then just didn't release it?
yeah, but
Not gonna
Is that
happen.
what happened?
This is a bit different.
Yeah, Pete and Pete was too cool for school. We had all the hot tracks
Yeah.
from the '90s.
You got to license those.
And all those bands are like, "Oh, you want to play our songs again?
Well,
You
we
gotta
want
pay
health
us."
insurance.
Did they license
is
them for
fine.
the actual show?
They licensed them for the
For-
show, but then to sell them again on home video.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I just wondered
Yeah, because it
how
was the
deep it went.
it was the 90s. you know
How
what I mean?
deep is your love?
Well, that's why I had to wait so long for my Daria to come out on DVD.
Right, but then they ended up
They
changing.
just changed
the
it and
music.
they
yeah,
put in
and
score.
They did some of that. They did some of that with Pete. And
Yeah,
Pete
Pete and Pete's
For
been
some
re-edited
reason,
in
they-
that way to
Yeah.
take out some of the
Don't
more
do that
driving music. And
Or they just show all that reruns up until when a musical guest would come, and then it's like,
Thank you so much. We'll
Yeah,
see you next
exactly.
week.
you guys have been a great band. You guys have been a great guest.
Next week, the Locks.
exactly.
Speaking of the locks, Jeremy,
What about
it
it?
seems like you've got a new haircut on lock.
I did, man. I was hobbling all over this little town today.
You hobbled to the barber?
I took a train to the office, got my paycheck, put that in the bank, got a new hard drive for this computer here, so we can have really beautiful live streaming stuff. And
Coming to you live in 4K.
got a haircut, got lunch, and I got dinner for me and my lady.
Do you have an infection is my
And
question.
did you drain? And
Yes.
when did you drain your knee?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at what
Yeah.
point did you?
Where
Okay.
in the city is there like
Yeah.
pus dropping?
Where-
Yes.
Yeah.
That's well.
Where
and some-
did you go to your phlebotomist to get the drainage?
That's exactly what happened with my foot. I broke my foot. It's probably
Can't
2
even
years
remember.
after we had done a podcast.
Can't
but
even remember.
that's what the guy did. He just
Is
pushed
this a
the.
thing where you're really if there's domestic abuse going on and you just keep
Yeah, he keeps
coming up
falling.
with
Yeah, he
He's
dropped.
He keeps saying he's. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just clumsy.
He dropped a
Less
car on it
domestic,
at work.
more-
He hit it on the curb. It looks like a fist,
Yeah,
sir.
it's really shaped like a fist.
Do you need help when you order pizza? Do you
silent.
fill in that part that's like I'm being held hostage?
Oh, there is that on
Help me?
pizza things.
I
Yeah.
said-
Really?
Is it all pizzerias?
Because like people who kidnap people eat pizza?
Yeah, there's a story about that's probably it must be true again because I saw it on the internet.
It's got to be.
But that she was being held captive and I
There's
think
an
by
aunt-
like a boyfriend or husband, someone awful.
Okay.
And she was finally like, let me order pizza. So she ordered pizza online. And like in the notes, she was like, I need help. Please call
Holy
the police, blah, blah, blah.
Awesome.
So now that's a thing.
Extra
that
cheese,
people-
extra
yeah,
kidnapping.
Exactly. That's a thing that some pizza places have added to their online ordering.
And bars add angel shots sometimes.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you order an angel shot, they know that that person is having problem and
They're having a shitty date.
yeah, bad
shitty-
date or like
shitty first
something,
date,
something
shitty
that's
blind date.
that's inappropriate or uncomfortable. Someone can go to the bar and ask for an angel shot and discreetly call
That's
the police
great.
or something.
Then you just get a
Nice.
phone, a telephone. It's like a red telephone.
No,
and
they
it's
give
like
you the one-
I'm so sorry. I gotta
They,
go.
they give you the one in the cake dome at the diner.
What do they say
Oh,
when
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
happening in a
It's-
butcher shop?
It's just dry ice. All they do is put dry ice in a shot
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah. Can I have a lamb's?
angel.
Can I have a lamb's brains?
Exactly.
Nobody orders that, so they know that that's the reason to. That's the way you call the
Do you have any?
cops.
Do you have any vegetarian pork rinds? That's what.
Yeah.
Can I have an Impossible Burger? 911. 911.
Okay.
But who takes their dates to the butcher shop anyway?
Oh
Jeremy?
yeah, what is the butcher shop? What? I wasn't paying attention. I'm an idiot.
I just thought it would be funny to explore what you might ask for in other venues.
I'd order
other
a
than
bucket of blood.
bar.
I'd order a bucket of blood if
Yeah.
it was going badly at a butcher shop. Can I get a bucket of blood?
For instance,
Whoa.
if you went to like Denny's, you know
Yes.
they have the ice cream with the smiley face. Is that Denny's? No, that's
It's IHOP.
no, it's well
you would
they have
order a
it too.
frowny.
And then you would order a frowny one. Yeah, you would say, "Hey, can I get a frown?"
Okay, I've been working on this for the last 10 seconds, so
About 15.
yeah, I might want. I would order.
Frowny needs to go.
I would order a Rudy Tootie. Please rescue me. A Rudy Tootie pleasant, fresh, and please rescue me.
A rapey, tapey, fresh and frapey.
Oh, okay. Crepey. No, it has to be a crepe.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Crepey.
Oh boy.
I get sold a lot of things while not watching the A-Team, like crepe erase.
Unbelievable. Back to the 80s.
Crepe erase?
Crepe erase is like a
Oh, it's like arepas and crepes together?
yeah, it's a Venezuelan youth formula. Crepe erase, they're trying to sell you some kind of cosmetic, and then
Sounds like Fresh Direct. Crepe apes.
and and what else do I get? Alex Trebek trying to scare me into buying life insurance. Oh my God,
Why?
he sells life insurance.
He doesn't need the money.
He does
it's
not.
So sad. I
Alex,
hate that
you
shit.
don't need
I
it,
did
bro.
too. The worst is the
Old people trust you.
He's already done it though.
Old people
It's-
trust you
that's-
because you have the answers and the questions.
He was
Don't sell
he was
them
making that stuff before he got diagnosed. And so
No,
what
but
can
he
he do
doesn't-
about it? He can't call him up and be like, "Hey, I want to give you some of the money back for the the advertising that you gave
What
me
did he
for
get
this."
diagnosed with?
Alex Trebek?
I
Yeah.
thought it was pancreatic.
He's got
Yeah.
pancreatic cancer.
Well, I think he probably got it because he did that commercial.
Damn.
Well,
Too
or
soon.
he's trying to pull a fast one over on the entire insurance
Right?
company.
Or quite frankly, he's not the only one that does those horrible, horrible things.
That's a good point.
I'm Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
But the
or
worst-
Fred Thompson.
or
Alan Thicke. Alan Thicke's a bad one.
what's
Fred
the former
Thompson with the bad
talk
lawyer.
show host that does all the loans? Montel
Montel
Williams.
Williams.
God
Montel.
damn it, I hate those.
I'll put $500 cash into your bank account.
Yeah, it's
tomorrow.
Also, that stuff really makes me sad.
Yeah,
so
because
we probably
people
shouldn't
trust-
talk about it too much.
Well, because people trust people. It's a problem.
Yeah, it's just yuckified.
Yeah.
You don't
Anyway,
want
You
the
didn't
18
notice.
Yeah.
to Thank
When
you.
George Papard tried to sell you life insurance.
Died of lung cancer. Moving on. Always loved his cigars.
I know, right? Well, then he should have gotten mouth cancer,
You'd think.
True, yeah, because you're not supposed to inhale cigar smoke. If you're doing that,
which
you've
is why
done
I
it wrong.
can't smoke cigars. I can't
Because
get
you
past.
just you
I
just wanna
love,
inhale.
love the smell of cigar smoke.
Interesting.
Love it.
So
I like pipe smoke. Cigar smoke,
Pipe smoke
not so
is
much.
delicious too, but running into a sophisticated professor comes few and far between.
you're saying there's more Wall Street fat cats out there than
Yeah.
professors. I always find myself stuck behind a professor at an Ivy League university and just getting a snoot full of cherry wood.
Oh, that's so delicious.
A snoot full of cherry wood.
What would you call it?
I don't know.
That was the original name for Rishu's album.
Yeah.
Jeez. You're just coming correct today, Michael.
Nice.
I
Call him Callback Morona.
So a good-
That's the C stands for callback in Michael's C.
here's
Morona.
a good weird development. I signed a new lease the other day on my apartment,
Good.
and then
Didn't go up.
I had no, it went up. It's been gone up every year. I had a
Rishu's dick.
I had Adele
Yearly, that's it.
and
No more.
Gerard
No less.
over to my apartment for the first time for dinner. I had never had my wife over to my apartment because I left her in a terribly emotional, horrible way. Yes, it was the first time having my
That's amazing, though.
wife and kid over to my apartment that we don't share for dinner, and I made pork chops.
Okay.
What was on the TV?
And who choked?
A-Team.
There was no A-Team
No,
on.
there was no choking on the pork
Did you
chop?
like spell out "I'm sorry" in peas
in
or
peas.
anything?
Oh, that would have been genius. I was thinking about that because I, pushed a lot of stuff off the floor, so there's a lot of empty floor space to do those type of large
Yeah.
arrangements. But no, I cooked broccoli instead of peas, so I kept messing up my letters.
Right? Yeah, I know. Oh, Mikey.
What was your? Did you have to like go through your apartment and like? But G
Yeah,
hangs
you
out
have
there,
to-
so
yeah.
it's not like
No, G comes.
You've baby proofed.
I baby-proofed the place already because I've had him over, but I didn't Adele-proof the place. So sure, I had to vacuum places that hadn't been vacuumed. I vacuumed the cabinets.
Nice.
Okay.
I cleaned off the ceiling fan.
That's a good
That's
one.
a
The
good
ceiling
one.
fan is a gross thing.
Yeah, they get smushy yuck face.
Oh my Lord. I mean, that sounds like somebody that I toured with in Japan, actually. Smushy yuck face.
Yuk fas.
Yukfachi. And
Yuk fachi.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody else to have to clean ceiling fans, but it was really cathartic.
Well, yeah, once you know.
It felt good.
And then
You
you're
saw
like, I
5
gotta
years
do
of
this.
dirty
Yeah.
memories coming all back to you.
And I hadn't even lived there that long. I always cleaned up somebody else's memories. I scared.
But then when you touched it, did you get a zap and
Yeah,
then
right.
like
You're gonna have-
see the murder? That
you're gonna have
happened there 5 minutes ago?
You're gonna have a cup of coffee. You're gonna get in the taxi. You're gonna leave your coffee in the taxi.
The trivial psychic.
Christopher Walken.
Was it trivial? What was
Yeah,
the word?
trivial psychic.
Trivial psychic.
That was it.
Very good.
I-
SNL sketch.
I
Are
made
you
it-
lost or you know what you were talking about?
No.
Dan?
Oh, no, I'm lost, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Christopher Walken's a guest, and he just like touches people, and all of a sudden
On
he gets
SNL.
he gets a view of a very
Oh, very-
boring
Yeah, he's a
part of
psychic,
their life.
but he's like, you'll find a great parking spot when you go to dinner tonight.
yeah.
It's all really just mundane.
But the
things.
gravity with
and the
which he
people
tells
are
them.
like,
Okay, thank you very much.
thanks,
I guess.
thanks.
Yeah.
but he's real intense about it.
So for whatever reason, Gerard didn't want to listen to records. Usually, like his number one indoor sport at my house is putting on records and dancing
Okay.
country music.
And
or
he's how old
whatever.
now?
2.5.
Whoa.
Very
Crazy, right?
loquacious, highly loquacious kid.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to listen to records. He didn't want to listen to Prince. He was all mad. No, I don't want to listen to Let's Go Crazy. He ran over to the CD player and turned it off. And he didn't want apple sauce, which I made with terrible apples. And he didn't want broccoli. So basically, he just wanted pork.
Well, I mean,
But we had a nice dinner overall. And nobody cried.
Well, it sounds
Till
like
after
he
they
did
left.
cry. It sounded like he cried because he didn't want to do anything.
Till after they left.
Yeah.
He wasn't as cuddly as usual, but it's also like Thursday is a non-cuddly day for him because he goes to daycare and gets traumatized repeatedly.
Lori Beth, I told you earlier that I timeshare a dog, and it's a similar thing where when I go to Muppet's mom's house and I'm hanging out there, it just blows her mind. So I'm presuming it's sort of that same deal when mom's there, dad's there, and G is there. G's like, oh, was that part of it or no?
For sure,
Yeah.
this was a weird situation because the three of us had never been in my
And for
apartment
the first
together.
time, yeah. So he's like, what?
Could be something.
Yeah, he didn't know how to react. But I was going to say, you didn't have sex with Muppet's mom to make Muppet, so it's kind of different.
That's
too.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was more of an internet search.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To find Muppets.
Well, I have video that shows otherwise.
Somebody.
I wish Muppet was here.
Jeremy
with us here.
Dogfucker Balin. That's what we call
Okay,
him.
Aw.
that's not where we were going with that.
That's what I call
Let's not get
It's
that going.
sea puker. Come on.
Yeah, if I'm anything, my grandfather was a sea puker.
Yeah.
It's
you
meta-
was
Father was a sea puker.
It's Jeremy Balin, first of his name, breaker of metatarsals.
And buster of knees.
Buster of knees. I don't want you to become knee buster. I think that we should.
I want you to be Buster of Rhyme.
I
Yes,
want to.
That's fair.
Oh, that's very good.
Did you
I can bust some rhymes. Let me know.
go
him
to
some more.
urgent care? Did you go to
Yeah, urgent care. Yeah.
or did you go to
Really?
Methodist Hospital?
No, I avoid that any hospital. It just takes. I've sat
Are you
in there.
living off the grid?
Yes. Yeah. They didn't have.
Why do you think he has his basement apartment?
He takes the
Yeah,
SIM
right.
card. He takes the SIM card out of his phone every time after he's done making a phone call every single time.
What are Jeremy's requirements for an apartment? No windows.
I just need to be able to refill my water reservoir
10 square yards of foil and a Faraday cage.
and one Muppet bed.
Oh, yeah.
Little baby. But yeah, I feel like I'm getting old and my body's starting to die. And just hobbling around town, I was like, man, I was in the mood to like start playing basketball and get in shape and like get healthy, and now I can't walk.
Summertime.
There's no-
Time to sit back and unwind.
Oh boy.
If you need help and if you can find them,
Maybe you can hire.
the ambulance team.
The ambulance. That still would be the A team. That's
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You think I'm just
I mean,
saying
LB
random
is just
shit?
not saying random shit, okay? You have to pay. Actually, we have to pay her $50 for that now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, good thing we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Danny and Mike.
If
with
you
the
have
N spelled
any-
out.
Oh.
If you have anything to tell us, you could also let us know on our voicemail line,
What's that voicemail line?
347-470-8150, and leave us a message. Sometimes people call with their moms in the room or with friends.
Yeah, LB, if you ever can't get in touch with either Mike or myself, or I don't even know if you have Jeremy's text, his information.
We
You
have
don't
a
need it.
we have a hotline you
Whoa.
can call.
We have a
and leave
hotline
us-
you can always call.
leave us
Okay.
voicemails.
Yeah.
So yeah,
People
we do
leave a
have
lot
that.
of weird messages.
People do?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
people,
Have you played them on the air?
Yeah, and I think that's why people go shticky. They go very shticky on there.
Yes.
They're like, "Ooh, it's my 15 minutes of fame," and we're like, "Well, dude,
Yeah.
we've
You
been
talk
living
about
on our
Rishu's-
15 minutes of fame for 25 years.
Talk about
so
Rishu's
that
dick
15
again?
minutes that you're thinking you're going to get is
There are.
25% less than the
A drop in the
Average
bucket
15
and
minutes.
actually adding to your fame.
It's complimentary fame.
Is it complimentary?
They're fame adjacent at best.
Fame adjacent.
That's
That's the name of my folk band.
that's going on the list.
Fame adjacent. I'm gonna live for a while.
Then you'll forget me. Bam.
Then I'll pop back.
Fame
up on
adjacent.
Cameo.
And I'll charge you $50 to say hello.
Has anybody tried to recruit you to Cameo to give people personalized messages?
Oh yeah. I've done a couple
Did you say you do Cameo?
at Cameo and what?
Did they sign you up for Cameo?
Just people are now saying we're going to have a central clearinghouse for personalized messages from celebrities.
Oh no, I have not been. I've just been individually.
Right. Someone will send you an email or get in touch with you and
Yeah.
ask you to do something.
No, but
and
there's
if the
now a
price is right,
repository of that stuff.
There's a central clearinghouse.
yeah,
Oh.
there's a place that people will go to be like,
Didn't you get Ice-T to wish you a happy birthday?
No, but I've been to a couple weddings where people have now like, I went to a wedding where a buddy who's a big Redskins fan and he paid a bunch of Redskins players to say happy, wedding day
Oh,
to him.
It sounds so much nicer in the Italian, though.
yeah.
It is. It was just very sad. Like, hi, I'm Robert Griffin III. You may like me, you may not, but
Like me or hate
I hope
me,
you guys
you're getting married today.
getting married today.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I hope he didn't.
Go Skins.
I hope he didn't kneel down when he proposed,
Oh,
because
Lord.
that is just an issue.
Jeremy couldn't kneel down to
If I
propose
tried-
if he wanted to. Right?
I thought that's why I bruised it. Is that I was at work just running around like an idiot, and I would
At
kneel
work.
and I kneeled down on the
He was
boo-boo.
kneeling at work.
And so I readjusted on the
Kneeling
kneecap,
at
and now
work.
the kneecap hurts. Yeah, I haven't taken the antibiotics
No,
yet, but I'm
I told you.
When did
I
you?
told
When were you
that it was
prescribed
bad
them?
last night.
Yesterday.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll take it. Do you need to take it with food?
Yes, one of them has to be with food.
Is it once a day? You're supposed to
yes.
take it.
Lori Beth is going into nurturing mode because
Okay.
she remembers
Oh.
she remembers me and my
I
antibiotics.
would completely
we'll always have
trust my
antibiotics.
health and life in your hands after
Are you
hearing.
going to take them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'll
when
do it
you
in front
eat
of
some
you.
dinner,
This
maybe
works.
we'll eat dinner after this.
Yeah.
This works.
Okay.
I like this.
Lori Beth, the week after you got into an accident in the same area, we ended up driving, and LB drove me, I don't know, 7 hours each way?
Something like not that long, but it just felt
It felt that
long.
way. So I trusted
guys
her
had
with
mas- you guys had
I
mastered
trusted
another
her
language.
with my life driving
Danny came
across.
out to do a. It was actually pretty crazy. Danny had come out to work on a project with me that still has no title.
Yeah, because
so
the title
we'll just call
that
it
is,
the. We'll
Title
just call
TK.
it
call
the
the Tonopah Connection.
Yeah, we'll call it the Tonopah Connection for now. Tonopah's a small Nevada city,
Nevada.
Sure.
but we drove like the next week. Literally,
Yeah, you were telling you.
we drove the exact same route.
Ooh.
We went. We had stopped on the way up to South Dakota. Where did I go? Lake Tahoe. South Lake Tahoe. On that trip, we had stopped in the first leg to eat at this really great barbecue restaurant in this little town and took pictures with the owner. I did with my boyfriend on that trip. We then a week later are driving the exact same route.
They were just getting
exact
flashbacks
same
from
route.
LB, like, oh man, I remember this.
And
It was only 45
yeah.
minutes before I got into my accident.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
She like,
No,
So
oh,
as you approach the site,
Yeah. Oh no, I went. We'd stopped. It was morning though when we got to that town. That town was kind of a meetup for the company to like check in with each other. And then we ate breakfast, and it was literally around the corner next door to the barbecue place that we'd eaten at.
I had to take pictures of you in front of it.
So I came back and I took a picture.
Scene of the
I ended
crime.
up taking a picture of me in front of that sign with my fingers crossed, like, hope this one goes better. It was really strange. It was just like, all right, let's go back and do the exact same thing again.
but it won't suck this time.
Well, our paths diverged in the wood before we got to where.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
That was when I carried you.
pretty classy.
there were only one set of footprints. Yeah.
I think that was Robert Frost actually, or Walt Whitman.
It was Jesus Robert Frost.
Walt freaking Whitman.
It was a crossover.
Did you get that one?
I got that.
Okay, good.
Walt, damn you, Walt freaking.
I hate you, Walt freaking Whitman.
Wow, is that more?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Simpsons.
Yeah, I figured.
You
He's
need
mad
to-
about being in New York.
You need to have a
No,
podcast.
he's
You need to have a
not.
podcast, LB. For
Oh, I know. I'm
just
thinking
Simpsons.
about Walt Whitman being buried in Greenwood Cemetery, but
Oh, okay.
but it's because
He
he
thinks it's his mother's grave.
finds Mona's grave. He thinks it's Mona.
his mother's grave, Mona, and then he finally goes up there and it's Walt Whitman.
My father always told me that was
Yeah. Mr. Simpson, maybe you should go up there.
There's really cool headstones in Greenwood, and the coolest ones are firefighters. They have like big statues of firefighters on
neat.
top of them. Yeah.
I mean, not as neat as them not dying in a fire, but that's neat.
They don't all have to be.
Oh, yeah, I
died
guess.
from a fire to
Yeah.
be buried in the cemetery.
Oh yeah, they could be
And
stabbed
have
by
a-
a vengeful spouse or
Yeah.
you know.
Or die
sometimes-
of natural causes after a long heroic career.
Yeah.
I like that.
You go down the
We don't
fire.
all-
You go down the fire pole the wrong way. Yeah, it's not going to be good for your head, neck,
Do you know anybody who did that? Pussy crack.
pussy crack.
Oh, you said head neck. I thought you said neck
Where
back.
did that
I
come
thought you
from?
said neck back.
Oh, neck back.
Pussy Crack is the name of my autobiography.
I think we just.
The cover picture is salacious.
We just lost Tonopah
Yeah.
completely.
It's like-
Pahrump. We still can hold on to Pahrump if we bring it back.
yeah.
I think pussy crack. A photo like the image just reminds me of the Black Crowes Amorica record.
See, I was gonna say
Yeah, and
Motley
it's just
Crue.
like it's just a it's just a little pussy crack.
It's a little slit.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Well, since we got that on record,
Go ahead.
maybe
Go ahead, Jeremy.
maybe we go ahead and pay some bills. Give us a look on the Last Podcast Network, lastpodcastnetwork.com. Also on Patreon, patreon.com/Danny and Mike with the and spelled out.
You wanted me to say the and spelled out, didn't you?
Also,
I actually said that today. I hate when they say that because it's stupid because you can't put an ampersand in a fucking
Web browser.
domain.
Web 3.0. We're gonna put some ands in
No.
there. We'll do it next time. Next time when we reboot the web, we'll put ampersand.
You don't get ATNT.com. It's ATT.com because they
Oh,
can't
it's
use
at?
the ampersand.
Oh, true that.
that's information that you never needed, but now
You never
have.
need it, but now you know.
Yes.
You're welcome.
And they own HBO.
Lori Beth taught me a whole lot of stuff in my life. At least I can, try to teach you one.
Yeah.
or two
Lori
things.
Beth, you have some plugs for us because it's been wonderful hearing from you, and I know people want to hear more from you. So
Yeah?
how can they hear from you? There's a Simpsons trivia night. Well, they will get destroyed by you.
You will get destroyed
Yeah.
by Lori Beth Denberg.
You can
if you
still
try to get, or maybe once in a while someone will beat you, but I don't know how that was possible.
There was
You
a little
guys-
hiccup. We
You
said
guys
it was a
must
hiccup.
have been having a bad day.
We were having we've had a couple bad days. There's
Just
a
one of them days.
depending on the question, there's a visual round. Round 2 is a visual round. And if they go away with that,
It's dignity, Luann. God.
there's a way that they can do that round that really veers away from it actually being Simpsons trivia. So, it's like, what are they referencing with this? And it's like, you know what I mean? So
You gotta have this one. You gotta have this one
Yeah.
ready all the time.
I'm pretty good with that, but it irks the boyfriend. He's like, it's not Simpsons trivia. And I'm like,
It's pattern recognition, baby.
And that means a hand job on the ride home just to keep him happy.
yeah, to distract him so he can work on me.
Into a snowbank.
Is he as good at
Is
the
that
trivia
really
as
what-
you or no?
Oh no, he's extremely good.
Okay.
He's extremely good.
Otherwise, the
Two peas in a
relationship
pod.
wouldn't have lasted. I'm guessing.
We do.
It
we
was a beautiful
compliment-
mind going back
we
and forth.
compliment
It was
each other
crazy.
in our kind of niches, but he's great.
And
And he's a redhead, by the way.
Strong,
Just shout
strong
out-
words
you go.
from a strong
Shout
woman.
out to redheads
There you go.
everywhere.
Yes,
Twitter or something? What do you use? Twitter,
I have
Instagram?
a Twitter. I have not put anything on Twitter. I have not. This is the exact same conversation we had the last time I was on your little show.
I'll just
2
copy
years
paste.
ago.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, you hear that on our
I have
little
Twitter.
show
I have
here.
Instagram. Somebody asked me yesterday what my Instagram was, and I was like,
Just look it up. I don't have to tell you. Look
Well,
it up.
I tried to sign into it and it wouldn't let me.
Uh-oh.
No.
So I don't know.
Maybe somebody took your account.
Good luck to them.
If you're trying to get in touch with Lori Beth Denberg, just give her a call at 347-470-8150, and we'll relay
Yeah.
the message for you.
If
You
have
can
any-
still have me officiate your wedding.
Oh yeah,
You can go to LoriBethDenberg.com or wedbylb.com, but one of those I let the domain run out.
So try both.
So I do need someone to help me recreate a website.
So if you're trying to get
if you're looking for an
hitched
officiant,
and you're looking for a good officiant,
Then your prayers have been answered.
right?
Nice.
But you have to try both of those websites, which they are again.
LoriBethDenberg.com,
or wed by LB.
wedbylb.com.
I like that one.
Mike, if I had married you, you'd still be married.
I am still married. I'm just separated. I'm just separated.
You gotta keep them separated.
If I had the right officiant. Yeah, my officiant was like a city hall guy. Not the most memorable. Not the most memorable.
Yeah.
I had a Mennonite.
next
I had a Mennonite.
Also,
marry
it
us.
seems like maybe if you were a better person, you'd still be married.
I should have been more complete in body, mind,
And that's
soul
me saying that
going
to
in.
someone I love forever.
Yes. yes.
You heard it here, folks.
But I keep
Much
it real.
love.
I'll help you when you're sick, and I'll call you on your bullshit.
She,
That is
it's a good person to know.
that is the best person to have.
Thanks, LB.
Yeah.
You can find this guy at D Tamborelli on the Twitters, at Danny Tamborelli on the Insta. Michael's at Michael C. Morono on the twits.
This is Jeremy Bailey.
I am at Remy Balin on most things. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv.
Oh yeah.
/DannyandMike.com. Oh my God.
What the hell?
Twitch.tv/
The Adventures,
Danny and Mike.
www./The Adventures of...
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Lori Beth, this is Let's
Always
do this
a
again
pleasure.
very
Yeah, we're
soon.
very thankful.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This is my favorite thing to do in the world now.
Thanks, LB. Thanks for coming through.
Bye.
Bye.
The Adventures of Danny and Mike stars Danny Tamborelli and Michael C. Morona. The show is produced by me, Jeremy Baylor. This podcast is part of the Last Podcast Network, which can be found at